First question is, why do some people find history boring? Some people find history boring because they feel like the list of date named or the event in the past is not connected with their life, and they also think that um, the event in the past is cannot affect anything in their today's society. So they find that history is kind of pointless and not important to them to learn like that. Next is, how can school make history more interesting for students? I think first school can let students do some activity like act out some short event to uh, let them like easier to remember that event. And also use technology and education, like um, make some quiz or game for them to make their lessons is much more interesting. And also teacher is kind of important for let student interested in, um, because I found out that a student is more likely to focus on the funny teacher and who like always always contact with student. Next is, do you think people can learn lesson from history? um of course we can learn important lesson from history. um by like learning a past we can know like the benefit or the disadvantage of their choices, and also in the present, like avoid from choosing like a wrong choices. And they can learn like what our accessory is to do in the conflicts, and from that from you that lesson to avoid any conflicts with another country for today. The fourth question is, how does history help us understand the present? um it helps us to understand like, oh, why we have the peaceful country like right now. and and like and also learn from the results in our wall discovery, or learning from our traditional. By learning history, then we know that some special day that we need to celebrate right now, and know like why we need to celebrate that day, and what is it like represent for. And it's also help us deeply um deeply knowing more about our country and understand more about our conventional. Five is, it is important for a country to preserve its history site wide. uh, I think that's I definitely think that is important for the country to keep the historical site, because um, like when we visit this site we can like always remember about the event that happened um, about that site. And it's also like special culture for the visitors to come to our country to visit and learning about our past, and it can become one of the famous famous place for tourists and increase the tourists from another country to our country also. Should our student be required to study history? Just of course I think so. Because students should learn history because it helps them to know our world, learning about our world they live in, and learning history can let them know what the difference between the past and present, and then they can learning from the past. Also, the history about our country is make them to be likely more and more love our country, and then be proud of our country also. 7. How has technology changed the way we learn about history? I think in the past we are just learning in the normal way, which just can make students easily feel boring about the subject. Like we just open a book, read about that event, which is like really long, with a lot of date, name, or some special situation, which is make us feel like it's really hard to understand, and it's kind of hard to remember for our test too. But for today's society, which is become more and more modern, we can use divide into our lesson, and which is let us like enjoy in our lesson more. Like we can play some game, or teacher will take us into some team to compete with each other, which make us like really need to understand that event, learn about that event to win the quizzes, like that. 8. Do you think history is something distorted? Why or not? 9 is, what is the difference between learning history from book and from visiting historical site? I think learning from book, of course we can also like get enough information, but it's kind of bored because we just looking in that lot of word, just that picture, and we cannot even touch it, feel it, or like see it in our life. And when visiting from historical site, I think it would be like much more information, because I don't know, I see a lot of board is with a lot of lesson on it, a lot of information on it to and I'm always be curious when I go to historical site, and I need to read it a lot. Last one is, how does national history influence people's sense of identity? I think history is a big part of what make who we are. By learning about our country history, then people will understand more about our conventional and know what make our country be unique, and learning about our achievement, they can be proud of their country, and also give them a scene of lovely with our country, and the way, and then after proud of our country is make them be more and more love our country. I think so.